Okay, in today's session, we'll discuss about the effect of eccentricity on the bearing capacity of a foundation. So many a times the foundations are subjected to moments in addition to the loads also. So the distribution of footing pressure is not uniform. In this case, it is a case of bending combined with a thrust. So treated in the mechanics of materials as you have seen. So whenever a footing foundation is been subjecting to load, that is a direct load, along with the moment, just you might have seen, suppose this is the footing. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
My voice is audible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have an equation of bearing capacity QU equal to, yes, tell me, CNC plus QLQ plus
0.5 B gamma NB.
B gamma
N gamma.
N gamma. Okay, this is the general equation what we are using to calculate the ultimate bearing capacity of the foundation. This equation is Terzgy's equation, and here NC, NQ, N gamma are the bearing capacity factors as we know, and Q is the surcharge, that is we can take gamma into dF, that is a unit weight of soil multiplied by the depth of footing from the ground level, and here the B is what? The width. It is width of the footing we take. Okay, so this equation we use when the foundation is been subjecting to the direct load P. If the load is acting, that is P. As you know, when the load is acting, that is directly into the column, then it is transferred to the footing, then the soil. And in this case, where let us consider this load is acting at the center, or the load is acting concentric. So for the concentric load, means what do you mean by concentric load? What do you mean by concentric? What do you mean by concentric? Hello? What do you mean by concentric?
Means uniform distribution of load, sir.
Concentric, eccentric. At least you tell, you all are MTech students. This concentric.
Load acting on the center of the footing.
The center of the column as well as the center of footing will get coincides. The load will be passing through the centroid. Okay. So for this case, the pressure beneath the foundation will be uniform. Yes or no? So this is pressure Q. So this pressure, how we get? Force per unit area, that is load per unit area, what we get. So this side as well as this side is the same. If suppose the second case, the load is acting, along with this load the moment is also acting. So in that case, what we get, see, we get force per unit area, that is load per unit area, direct load. Along with that, what I am getting? Moment also. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, along with that, moment is getting. If in the first case, the moment was 0. Okay, so this is the equation we use. Right. So I think you remember this equation. P by A plus or minus M by Z. In the first case, when the moment is 0, this was the pressure distribution under the footing, uniform. The pressure distribution was uniform. The second case, when it is been subjecting to moment along with the direct load, then the pressure distribution you can write here for the different cases. So suppose if here in this case, if suppose P by A is greater than M by Z. Suppose P by A is greater than M by Z. The pressure distribution under the column will be like this, trapezium. You will get Q max as well as Q minimum. This is the pressure distribution. In the second case, again, when same foundation subjecting to moment, but when P by A is equal to M by Z, then that time one side you will get a zero pressure. This is a Q minimum. Other side you will get a Q maximum. These are the pressure variations. And one more case, when P by A is less than M by Z, that time what you get? Like this. The pressure distribution under the footing you will get like this. So this will be Q max. This is negative. This is positive. This is Q minimum. All of you understood this one?
Yes, sir.
These are some pressure distributions under the footing for different types of load, as well as when the load is and the load will be acting along with the moment. Okay. So in the first case, see the first case. In the first case, the moment was zero. When it was zero, only you will get direct load, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
When there is no moment, there is no eccentricity, you can call. There is no moment, there is no eccentricity. If it is no eccentricity, then the load will be acting through the centroid only. Then you will be getting the uniform pressure distribution under the footing. This is from this end to this end. The intensity of pressure will be the same. That is, force per unit area or load per unit area will be remains same. If the footing is subjecting to moment along with the direct load, if some moment is acting, this is moment is nothing but means this load is not concentric. It is somewhere it is acting here. It is away from the center, that is having an eccentricity of E. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
So this is a P, then the moment will be written as P into E. Then the footing is subjecting to like this, it will be bent like this. Are you getting? Understanding? Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is subjecting to the moment. So means the load is not acting at the center. It is acting some distance away from the center with an eccentricity of E. Then this P multiplied by E gives you the moment. So because of this one, so this side, right side, the pressure is more because here it is more pressure here because it is acting a moment here. And we get a two pressures, Q minimum and Q max. Okay. So how you can understand this one here is, suppose if P by A is greater than M by Z. So how we got this M by Z is, as you know, from the bending theory, M by I, F by Y, and E by R. Have you remembered this equation in strength of material? Have you remembered this equation?
Yes, sir.
Then we can write this one. F is M is the moment, I is the moment of inertia, Y is the distance of fiber from the top, F is the bending stress, E is the Young's modulus, R is the radius. Okay, so here F we can write F equal to M divided by M into Y divided by I. Then we can write M divided by I by Y, where M divided by Z. I by Y is nothing but section modulus Z. That Z I have taken here, that is P by A plus or minus M by Z. Then here, when P by A, suppose the load per unit area is say 10, in this case that it's a 10, and M by Z is say 4. Are you getting? So this equation is nothing but Q max and Q minimum, both it will give. Q max when you add it, Q max will get, when you deduct it, you will get Q minimum. Now, if P by A is 10 kilonewton per meter square, and M by Z is, that is 4 kilonewton meter. So can you tell me what is Q max you get here? If you apply this P by A plus M by Z, 1 Q max, you will get P by A plus M by Z, and Q minimum will be P by A minus M by Z. So in the first case, just I am giving an example. If suppose P by A is 10, can you add this and tell me what is the maximum you get?
14.
So 14 you will get. So that 14 is nothing but this is a 14, this side Q max. So can you tell me the minimum value?
6.
6. So this is a Q minimum you get. So you will get the pressure distribution like a trapezium. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, second case, when P by A is equal to M by Z, means suppose this P by A is 10 and this also 10. Can you tell me what is the maximum value?
20, sir.
20. Here you get a 20, that is Q max. What about minimum value?
0.
0. So here you are reached. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Then suppose if P by A is 4, M by Z is 10. What is the maximum value we get?
14.
14. That is the maximum. What about the minimum value?
Minus 6.
Minus 6. So it has gone up. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
this case is acceptable for the foundation. Okay. But if it has reached up to the ground level is okay, but this is not acceptable. The reason here is for a foundation design, because tension will be developing here, and that foundation will get separate from the soil. Okay. So this is not acceptable. So that whatever the pressure is there, that should be below the that is the ground level only. Okay, it should not go up. Understood this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with this we'll include this in case of this formula, that B to be taken into account. So how this B can be taken for the footing subjecting to loading. Okay. So here what it indicates, if the pressure distribution is showing a negative here, it indicates that the tensile stresses will be developing in a soil. As the soil cannot take the tension, the soil will not take the tension. So there is a separation between the footing and the soil. And to avoid this one, the area of the footing which is in tension is generally neglected. Where the area of soil has been subjecting to tension, it is to be neglecting, only it is to be considered this much. Okay. And to avoid this one negative moment, the footing to be spreaded widely. Okay. So you can avoid this negative pressure in the footing. Okay. So this is not acceptable. So only this is acceptable, and at worst condition this is also okay, acceptable, but this is not acceptable. If you are getting the negative moment means, so there is a tensile forces will be acting in the soil. So when the tensile forces will be acting, then there is a separation between the footing and the soil. The footing gets separated out. Okay. So it will be lifted up like this. So can you see this footing now? It will be like this. Are you getting? This side it will be this side it will be lifted up. Okay, when it is been lifted up, it is separating from the soil. This creates a negative pressure. So this is not acceptable, but this is okay. So within the limit, this is okay. In such cases, how the B can be taken? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is very important. Again, I'll take here effect of eccentricity on a bearing capacity of a foundation. Very important. I'm writing here for the examination point of view. It's a very important here. Okay. So please note it down here. So foundations are sometimes, right on, foundations are sometimes subjected to moments in addition to the loads. The distribution of footing pressure is not uniform. In this case, it is a case of bending moment. It's a case of bending combined with direct load or thrust in the mechanics of material, means that is the strength of materials. You might have studied this one, the load along with the moment, how the maximum pressure underneath the footing can be taken. The maximum and minimum pressures are given by the maximum and minimum pressures are given by. So you have to write here maximum and minimum pressure here. Okay. So Q max can be given as Q divided by P into L into bracket 1 plus 6E divided by B1, and Q minimum will be Q divided by B into L into bracket 1 minus 6E by B. Okay. So here, let us take this foundation. This is the ground level. Then, so here the direct load is acting. This is the direct load acting. You can take it as a Q. The load is acting Q. Along with this Q, there is a moment also acting like this, bending moment. Okay. And here, because of the moment, it is producing an eccentricity, and this eccentricity is E. It is acting away from the center of the footing as well as the column. So because of this eccentricity, it is getting a moment. The moment is nothing but force multiplied by the perpendicular distance, that is Q multiplied by E is the moment. The width of the footing is B here. Okay. So can anyone tell how the pressure distribution will be under the footing? It will be trapezium. It will be like this. This is a pressure distribution because of eccentricity. If there is no eccentricity, how will be the pressure distribution under the footing?
Q minimum is 0, Q maximum is.
That is, you will get, in case of zero eccentricity, you will get uniform pressure distribution. Correct? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Uniform pressure distribution. Okay. And also, if you draw this one, it will be like this. So footing, then up to here you will get a maximum, and this much area is under pressure, maximum pressure. Okay. Because this side moment is more, means it is acting like this. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
This side, right side maximum pressure is acting. So this area to be considered here. And next here, the eccentricity, just I am drawing this center line, draw center line here, and eccentricity also you mark it. This I am calling it as a EB. EB means it is acting along the width of B. Eccentricity along the width of B. Then if this is B, what is this length? Is it L, right? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is this one? This width is B. correct?
Yes, sir.
And where that effective load is acting, that width to be taken as a B dash. Remember, this is to be taken as a B dash. Mark it. And this distance will be 2 times of eccentricity. Okay. You call wherever the effective pressure is acting or effective load is acting or effective area to be considering, that is B dash. The width is B dash. Okay, this much area is effective in taking the load. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why I'm taking this one is now I have to modify the equation later. This equation. Which equation? This equation. You have to modify this one now. Because if eccentricity is acting, if load is concentric, there is no problem. You can use directly this one, B. But if load is not concentric, it is acting eccentrically, the B has to be changed, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The B is replacing with what? B is
B dash.
yes, B dash. Now I need to calculate what is that B dash. Now you understood?
Yes, sir.
These again rest all same, but only thing is what is changing here?
B.
Yes, that is the effect of eccentricity on the bearing capacity of a foundation. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now I'll. Did you understand how this equation has come? Then
Yes, sir.
EQmax. You know, try to understand. Let me see here. The load is acting directly. That is, we take a P by A along with direct load. If the moment is also acting, that is, we take as M by Z. Okay. So the footing will be like this. It's a rectangle, correct? What is this width? B. What is this one? Length. Okay. Now, if I take a moment, if the load is acting at the center, that is load per unit area. So what is the area here? Is it B into L?
Yes, sir.
The load which is acting per unit area, B into L, I take area.
Yes, sir.
So area will be what? B into L. Suppose if the load is not acting at the center, if it is combined with some moment, okay, then if I take this as a x-axis and this as a y-axis, are you getting my point? Are you understanding? So how it creates a moment? It will be moment along what? Width, right? It will be bending like this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
It will be bending along width B. If you take one-way bending, then that is one-way eccentric. If you take both way, then it will be two-way eccentric along width also, along length also. So in this case, when I am taking M by Z, so Z is nothing but section modulus. Then I can take this I by Y. As you know, it's a section modulus. I is what? Moment of inertia. So can you tell me what is the moment of inertia for rectangle? So is it a BDQ by 12? Yes or no? For rectangle, it is BDQ by 12. Have you remembered this one equation?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, but in my case, it is B into L. So is it L BQ by 12? So it is bending along a width B. The B can be taken as a depth here. Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Any doubt you ask here? Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, Y is nothing but the depth of the center from the top, that is B by 2. Sorry, this one, B by 2. This depth. Okay. So what do you get here? You will be getting L B square by 6. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now I'll substitute here. And this M is nothing but P into E because eccentricity is acting.
Yes, sir.
It's a moment. P into E. Okay. Now I'll substitute P divided by B into L plus M is P into E divided by L B square by 6. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll take a P divided by B into L common. What do you get here? 1 plus 6E by B. Is it correct? Is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So 6E. So can I write this is a B by P by A? That is area 1 plus 6E by B. And this can be written as for maximum as well as for a minimum. But here you take plus or minus 6E by B. Understood?
Okay, sir.
This is the equation at all. Yes. Any question?
No, sir.
No. Okay. So this is the same equation I have taken here. Understood this one? How I have taken this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here you write where Q is the total vertical load. Total vertical load, and M is moment on foundation. Moment on foundation, and B is width of footing, and L is length of footing. And where E is eccentricity. Okay. Therefore, the M will be what? Q into E. M equal to Q into E. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, whatever the Qmax value you are getting, if you get after calculation, whatever the Qmax value you get, this Qmax, that is the maximum pressure, should be always less than the safe bearing capacity. Means whatever the pressure, which this pressure we are getting from the building load. Okay. So this Qmax should not get exceed of the safe bearing capacity of the soil. If it exceeds, again it will be failing here. Are you getting my point? Whatever a Qmax you are getting, you are getting from where? From the building load. But this Qmax should be lesser than the safe bearing capacity. Qmax should always less than safe bearing capacity. Take this one. Qmax value should always be lesser than the safe bearing capacity of the soil. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
I hope till here, till now you understood. In exam, you have to write this much only. Okay, you have to remember these two equations, and you have to write this one. Then next I'm going to tell about this one. Just a minute. Suppose if it is a one-way eccentricity, okay, it's a one-way eccentricity. I'll take just one-way eccentricity. One-way eccentricity. Suppose it's a one-way eccentricity. Let us take this is the footing. It's a footing, and mark the center line of the footing. Take this as a width and this as the length. So here, draw this one. This is the load Q, and let us take this as the moment M, and this is the width B. The area here is how much? B into L. B into L is the area. Then, if the load is acting eccentrically, so that will produce the moment in the footing, and because of that one, how you get the pressure distribution? As you know, it will be trapezoidal shape. Is it clear? Like this you'll get. Now I have marked this as a Q minimum, this as a Q max. If suppose if it is no eccentricity, there is no moment. If there is no eccentricity, no moment, then where the load will be acting? Where the load will be acting?
At the center.
At the center. Okay. And one thing you have to remember, this eccentricity should not be more than b by 6. It should be middle 1/3. It should not go beyond b by 6. If it is going beyond b by 6, then there is a chances of getting a negative moment in the footing. Then it will be get lifted up. Then there is a separation of footing from the soil. So that is not acceptable. So while designing a footing, you need to check whether the eccentricity is beyond b by 6 or it is less than b by 6. If it is going beyond b by 6, then you have to take a suitable measurements and you have to redesign the footing, entire footing, or you have to change the dimensions of the footing. So that is the check one you need to take. So if it is, it should not be more than b by 6, means this is what? This is no tension condition. No tension condition. There won't be any tension if it is lying within a b by 6. So there is no tension in the footing. If it is going beyond b by 6, that eccentricity means, suppose the load, whatever it is acting, this is what we call the eccentricity. If this is exceeding this b by 6, then there is a chances of getting a tension in the footing. Then there is a separation of footing from the soil. So that is more dangerous for the footing. So that you have to take into care. And next, as usual, I have given the equations, this one. So these equations to be applied to calculate the Qmax and Qminimum. And this is what we call as a one-way bending. One side it is bending. I hope you are getting. So this is your footing. This is your footing. How it is bending? It is bending like this. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
I hope you are understanding.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll just a minute. I'll give you the example. So can you see this one? This is a footing. This is a footing. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If I apply a load here at the center, it will be bending like this because of moment. Is it a one-way bending, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If it is bending along this also, both sides, like this, it is a two-way bending. Correct? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm taking a one-way bending. So, suppose this is when E is not greater than B by 6. And one more case, you may get the pressure will be like this. You will be getting a Q minimum here, means Z minimum value. When E is greater than B by 6, you will get a tension in the footing. So not acceptable. This is not acceptable. This is not acceptable for foundation design. Because tension will develop in footing. Tension will develop in a footing. Hence, there is a chance of separation of soil from the footing. So this is not acceptable. But when you have to check when E is greater than B by 6, so there is a chance of getting a negative moment or tension in the footing. Hence, it is not acceptable because the soil gets separate out from the footing. Is it clear?
Yes,
Have
sir.
you taken this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. Coming to next one. And one more thing here. Just forgot. Here, this is the effective area. This much to be considered the effective area. Please mark this one, effective area. And so initially it was a width B. When there is an eccentricity, when the moment is acting along with the load, so this much area is only more effective for taking the load. That area of that is a width, what we are calling it as B dash. And this much is what? 2 times of eccentricity, this side. Okay. Now, can you tell me what is B dash now? Where is eccentricity acting? Here it is acting. What is this one? This is E. Eccentricity is E. Can you tell me what is B dash? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. B minus E.
B minus 2E.
Yes.
Okay. Now, since it is the eccentricity is only one way, we're not taking along the length, we're taking only along the width. So this L is nothing but L dash only. There is no change in the L. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Then what could be the effective area? Tell me. Effective area, I am calling it as a dash. So is it B dash into L dash?
Yes, sir.
No. The area A equal to B into L. When we take this A equal to B into L, when the load is concentric loading. So A dash, when you take A dash equal to B dash into L dash, when eccentric loading, means with eccentricity. If eccentricity is present, we change that. That is, B will become B dash and L will become L dash, then A will become A dash. And this will be for what? Concentric loading. And this will be for what? Eccentric loading. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Means whenever you're taking the eccentric loading, that time you have to change that B equal to B dash. That the B dash, how we calculate B dash? B dash is B into 2 times of E. Right? Next is when foundation subjecting to two-way eccentricity. Just to draw this one again, I'll be drawing the foundation. Let us call this as a width B. This is the ground level, and take this load is acting Q. This is Q, and along with that the moment also acting. And this B into L, the footing is B into L. And when I draw the plan of footing, let us take this is subjecting to moment M, and here the load Q is acting, that is Q ultimate, and this is the length of footing, and this is the width of footing. Now, can you tell me in this case, A dash is what? Suppose this one, again I am drawing this one more here. If you take this as a x-axis, this as a y-axis, if it is acting in both way, this also acting a moment and also this also acting moment. In both way the moments are acting. So you can call it as a mx and this is my. Take this one. If it is subjecting to both side moment, so this is one way. For one way means along the width it is acting, eccentricity along the width. Okay. And two way means it will be like this. The more eccentricity will be acting here. Suppose this is point. We take this as well as this. So along the width, the eccentricity is acting. You call it as a EB. Along the length, you call it as a EL. Okay. EL. Okay. Then how it can be written? This here A dash. How it can be written here in the one way? Is it B dash into L?
Yes, sir.
Means L dash is nothing but L only. But B dash to be taken B minus 2E. Means this much is effective in taking the load. This will become a B dash and this will be 2 times of E. Okay. So where B dash will be B minus 2 times of E along with B, and L dash will be L in case of one way. This is one way. And here in this case, A dash will be what? Is it B dash into L dash?
Yes, sir.
But what is B dash here? Tell me first. B minus 2 times of EB. Means this much is effective.
2 EB.
And L dash will be what?
L minus 2 EB.
L minus 2 EL.
EL.
Correct? Then this is for two-way. Okay. So finally, so when you are converting that B equal to B dash or L equal to L dash because of the eccentricity, here I mark up to here. I have to mark this one. I have to take it as a L dash, and this will be 2 times of EL. 2 times of EL. Mark this one. Up to here only it is effective. Okay. So this much is area for a two-way. L to be taken L dash to be taken L minus 2 EL. Then finally, the equation what you are having that QU equal to that is CNC plus gamma DF NQ plus 0.5 B gamma N gamma. So this is a general equation, but according to the Meyerhof, this for the eccentric footing, the equation to be taken CNC SC DC IC plus Q NQ SQ DQ IQ plus 0.5 gamma B, but here we take B dash N gamma S gamma D gamma and I gamma. Okay, so this is the equation to be taken for eccentric foundation general equation, but here as you know what is SC SQ S gamma. Can anyone tell what is S?
Shape factor, sir.
Yes, shape factors. So these shape factors already are given, that is to be used, and DC, DQ and D gamma are what? Depth factors. Depth factors. What is IC, IQ and I gamma?
Inclination factors.
Yes, inclination factors. Inclination factors. The only change is here you are getting instead of B, you are taking as a B dash. Why we are taking? Because of the eccentricity. That B dash is nothing but what? B minus 2E. L dash will be L minus 2E. But along the B you are taking, you take it as EB. Along the L you are taking, take it as a EL. Is it clear? Then finally
Yes,
the ultimate load to be calculated, Q ultimate, that is QU into A dash. So because from this equation you will get in kilonewton per meter square, that is the pressure we get. But I want a load in kilonewton, so that QU multiplied by A dash, when you do it, you will get the ultimate load carrying capacity of the foundation. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is about effect of eccentricity, and these SC, SQ, S gamma, are that is shape factors, depth factors, and the inclination factors already given the equation, the same equation to be referred for the calculation for different shapes of footing, rectangular footing, square footing, circular footing, and according to that the shape factor will change. You have to include those things in the equation and you have to get the answer. And finally, the ultimate load carrying capacity of the foundation to be calculated, QU multiplied by A dash. Why I am taking a dash? Because of eccentricity. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is about effect of eccentricity, and this also there for your IA. It is included in IA. The question will be write the effect of eccentricity for the foundation. Okay. So which class is there next?
Economics, sir.
Economics.
Okay, I'll continue in next class then. Give your attendance here. Give your attendance and leave the class. We'll continue next.